Welcome back, William Fuller. How are you?
I'm doing well. LJ Regine, how are you?
I am fantastic. Welcome to another episode of the BROxFire podcast. I am LJ at the Modern Thor, and this is
Will Fuller from actually the SoFlo Style Guy.
the SoFlo Style Guy.
It's got a good.
It
like,
does.
Like I like it.
Didn't I help you come up with that?
Yes, you did.
I'm pretty sure I
You
did.
and Aga did help me come up with that.
Mostly me. Let's not give too much credit to your wife because she's going to listen to this and start yelling at you right about now. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to give you that opportunity.
It was all you. It was all you. You came up especially with the idea to help people with style and fashion. And
I am just full of ideas, Will. So we want to thank you guys for joining us. This is the BROxFire podcast where we talk about everything RoxFire Fitness. So RoxFire Fitness is my gym. It's my boutique fitness facility where you can train like a superhero. Will is one of my members, but he is like an OG member. He's been there since day one. Haven't you?
Yes, I have. And I'm actually excited I'm actually happy that I am the OG because a lot of the times people, there's some people that would be OGs and you would see them and you'd be like, oh, they've been working out here for a while and they look like that. So, I mean, I've changed tremendously. Bad marketing. But my body has transformed tremendously and it really, obviously I had to have that deep conversation with myself. I could lift the weights, but I'm like, why is nothing showing? And I figured it out that it was actually what you put in your mouth. So that was...
Yeah, I mean, diet is so important, and, we all forget that, right? And I think people come in, and they're like, oh, so I just need to work out, and I will look the way I want. And I'm like, not exactly. It's more than that.
Easy.
It's a lifestyle if you think about it. It's just you have to kind of live a fitness lifestyle, which means making certain decisions in your life. Let's talk about January. So I did not drink any coffee in January.
Oh,
I know.
I love coffee.
Yeah, that's one thing that I feel like some people just they're not willing to give up. They're like, I can't do without that.
But I only have one cup. So with you might have had more than 1 cup a day with cream and sugar for whatever. Me, it's just no
cream and sugar.
Oh, well, for me, I have an espresso maker.
You're fancy.
Yeah, I'm fancy and bougie. And so what happens is I create it and then I make it, grinds it, and then I use almond milk creamer, and that's it. There's obviously
which one do you use?
Silk, sweet and creamy. It is the best.
The best. I agree. 100%.
I go back to cream and I'm like, oh, what? So
there's one that's it's called I think it's Caligula Farms. It's something that begins with a C and it's like a woman's face on it. And the consistency, Will, is so disgusting. It's thick and gross. And Nathan bought it one time, and I was like, what is this? It was just it was gross. It was gloop, gloop, going into the coffee.
It flopped in?
It flopped in.
That might be bad.
No, because I Googled it. And that's the consistency it's supposed to be. So
instead of Folgers, where it's drip, drip, their commercials, plop, plop.
Plop, plop. Seriously. Oh, Folgers is disgusting. Oh, my God. You know what? When Tim and I used to live together, Tim considers himself a thrifty saver, and for him that means buying Folgers coffee. And he bought Folgers coffee and then made it, and I was like, Tim, this is disgusting.
Yeah. I feel like
spend $5 extra for the Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or something else, but not Folgers.
Yeah, no, I mean, when it comes in a tin this big for $2, there's a reason.
There's a reason.
There's probably a toenail in there. It's just gross. So you start scooping it, it's nasty. You don't want that's.
What do you
not the best part of working out.
What kind of beans do you have? Is it a company that gives you beans or? Yeah.
Whole Foods Allegro coffee. I think we did that on a past when we were actually starting our podcast with drinks, and we started it off with coffee. And Allegro coffee. No, I think it's one of the best. Yeah. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's I forgot what we were even talking about before the coffee. I just got so absorbed in that conversation.
January and how you cut down, also cut down drinking.
I did. I did. So I drank 2 times in January. One at the 2nd year anniversary party. I had like 3 drinks, but I had like a glass of water in between, and it was sangria. And then this past Sunday at brunch, I had 2 sangrias. And honestly, I got to tell you, I don't miss drinking. Like, I don't miss it. And I just feel like I like having my Sundays. I like not feeling like shit the next day. And sure, it's good to like let loose every once in a while, but I feel like it really does. And it's always been true whenever I go through like periods of not drinking, I'm like so happy that I do it. And then I fall off the wagon at some point because it's a balance, but I'm keeping it rolling through.
Do you fall off that wagon, or do you actually jump off that wagon? I think you see like a bar and you're just like, I'm off.
I think I dive off. Like, even at the networking event, I didn't have a drink. Like, even the little champagne, I was like, can I get some soda water for my fruit? We went to that networking event last week. Yeah.
That's the only time I drink. I drink. I'm a social drinker. It's not like I sit at home and like, crack open something and have to have a drink at home. I have a friend who likes to take a picture and post it on Instagram or Facebook being like, Wednesday vibes, and he's got like a Jack Daniels in the and I'm just like, ugh, like that's not a Wednesday. Like for me, like I'm not saying this because I'm part of RoxFire. This is just true.
Yeah. My Wednesday, honest here.
Yeah, my Wednesday night vibes. I feel great when I'm like done with a workout, and like that's my Wednesday night vibe. Like that's where I feel great. I don't need a drink. I don't feel like that's important. But there's people who like to. They find they like to enjoy the sip of whiskey or.
Yeah, I mean, like I think a nice glass of scotch or like a nice whiskey, like as like a dinner, like after dinner or something like that is good. I think what I'm learning or like what I'm trying to introduce with it is just the moderation of it. Like a glass, there's nothing wrong with a glass, a drink, but it's like. I think the problem is, too, is a lot of our friends are much younger than we are. And because we look so damn good, people think that we are younger than we are, but we're both in our mid-30s. So, and
close to 40, bro.
Listen, you're in your mid. Okay, I'm early to mid, you're mid to late, okay? But we're both in the
turning 38 in next month.
So you're I would say 34 through 37 is 4, 5, 6, 7 is mid. 30, 1, 2, 3 is early. 8, 9, I don't know. Whatever. My point is.
Wait a minute, finish that. 8, 9 is. Forget it. Let's not talk about 8, 9.
That's 40. You're practically 40.
I know.
No, but like the point is that the kids these days, they just like can drink, and they drink a lot. And even like, we have friends. I feel like I should just make up names for people, but just there are people that I know that are just drinking every weekend, and they still look great. They get up in the morning.
Give them a nickname and see if I can figure out who that is.
Okay. So there's this one female who is still young, and she's vivacious, and she looks great, and she can just go get wasted, and then like she's a spring chicken. She shits out abs, and like she's ready to go. I
know. That's the thing. Like she makes these like I pronounce the boards wrong.
The boards
that she makes the cookies, the cheese.
Oh, charcuterie
boards. I didn't want to say them because we know what happens when I pronounce things wrong.
Were you there when she called me on that at the Christmas party? So I was like, Megan. There we go. I said her name. So anyway, it's Megan. I was like, Megan. It's actually charcuterie board. And she's like, no, LJ, actually it's charcuterie board. And I was like, no, it's not. And I Googled it, and guess what? It's charcuterie board. So I was like,
I would believe the woman who makes them, the one who makes them consistently and posts them.
Yes. And I'm not implying she's an alcoholic or anything. I'm just saying that she likes to have a good time on the weekends, and as a young woman, she should,
Well, yeah, we went out, and then I think it was, I don't remember what it was, and we got I think it was the RoxFire party, And then the next day, I think we were at the beach. Was it that day?
Was this New Year's? Or was this?
Yeah. We all came out after the party, the RoxFire. I don't know.
I don't think I went out.
Yes, you did. You were a hot mess.
When was this?
You kept telling me, you're like, I am wasted. Well, I am. I shouldn't even be out. And then you came out.
Okay.
Remember?
Was this recently?
We need to define recently. We've had a few parties at RoxFire. Trainable, live wild. More on the wild side.
Was it the Christmas party? No, but see, like, I'm at that age, Will, and maybe you can relate to this too. Actually, you can't, because you still like to go out. I'm like, can I go to a house party and can I just sit there and drink and not have to go anywhere if I'm drinking? Like, when people are like, okay, I'm at the party and now it's 11 o'clock and it's time to go to the bar, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's not the part I want to be a part of. You do. You like that.
I love it because I don't get drunk. So my thing is the reason why I like doing it is I think it's very rare.
I know when you're drunk because I can see it in your eyes, and you're also like your personality times 2. So you're a little bit more wild, you're a little bit more vivacious. That's the word of the day. And you're like, Will.
You want to talk like that? Hey, have a drink. I'm like, hey guys, let's go. We're just go like to the water hole.
Way more animated than you're already pretty animated. So you're just like that times 2.
Which people don't know that about me. But they don't know that I'm animated, which is funny because when they first meet,
what do you mean? I think you're very.
That's because you know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that blew people's mind when we did that video with Wilhelm and that stuff. Like they didn't even know. They thought I was like quiet.
Oh yeah, we filmed a video for Bill's charity that he works for, and we dressed him up as a like European like fitness instructor, and the joke was that I was coming into the gym looking for someone to train me for a 5K. And he was the coach, and he was. Can you do the accent a little bit so our viewers understand?
Our viewers. Yes, I was like doing like, this is a workout that we are going to do for you. This is very good. You're going to like it.
It's very like kind of it's like French, but like an aggressively American French.
Yeah, like someone who like it's like a mix, and that's the thing I created. And the other thing is I have to talk with my hands when I do it.
I think that's the Italian. So we're just like dancing around the screen with our hands, you know.
The most important part. Everyone loves it. Most important. Everything is the most important.
Everything. So to Wilhelm, everything that he was teaching was the most important part. He'd be like, "This is the most important part," and I'd be like, "Come on."
Everyone loved your facial expressions you made in that video. The best part was like when I was taping you up for safety, and your face. Everyone was dying.
It was like caution tape, and the premise was like when you're running outside, you don't want to be hit by a car. So therefore, the only logical thing to do is wrap caution tape around your entire body. That's orange. And have a cone on your head. Hold on to it. And oh my god, that was such a funny experience with you. And it was fun too because I don't know if people know this about me, but I went to school for theater, so I was an actor. I mean, my superpower with what I do with my business is the marketing stuff that I do, the videos I make, and I love all that stuff. But that's all the creativity, like channeling that from my earlier years. And so it was cool to like work with Will, who I know you did a drama class in college. You had mentioned.
I did it in high school 2 years, and then in college I had a little bit, but it was way more intense. And so I just because it was asking.
Get to college, you get all the assholes who like take themselves so seriously, and this is one of the reasons why being an actor, like I enjoy it. I love performing, but sometimes actors are the most difficult freaking people in the entire world. They're just like me.
Me. And then that's it. And everyone's like, oh. You're like you're playing the tree, buddy.
Yeah.
Just feed the tree.
No, but me. And you're like, oh, we get it. It's you. It's all you. So
But I remember, like, I literally got on stage my first time, and I forgot what I was playing, but it was
how
just,
would you forget?
I don't know, I did so many different things. I know we did Aladdin when we were younger. I know there was a Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Was Chicken Little? Do you remember that? That like I was in first grade and I was Ducky Lucky, and I stole the show as Ducky Lucky because Ducky Lucky was very dramatic, and my mother knew I had a flair for it when I was in first grade.
You took it by storm. You
did.
I just love to. My goal is I like to make people laugh, and I like to take an awkward situation like that when I hit my microphone, and I like to take it for like if it's like I'll find the funny and stuff, even if you're not like people are like this is serious, and I'll be like, no, it won't be. I will find the funny in that, and so that's just who I am because I always like to joke around. So when acting came and I got to play the part that was funny. Actually, I remember that's what made me stop in college because there was like a side class, and I made this character. I think it was Romeo and Juliet. I think it was like a off production type, and I just wanted my person to kind of be a little bit funny, and people laughed, but the person in charge was like, "No, we are directing this as a serious blah," and I'm like, "I'm done." Everyone.
Do you remember who you were playing?
Not by much. I don't. It was different names. We gave them all different names because we couldn't use Romeo and Juliet, but it was like a spin-off of like a Romeo and Juliet.
Do you remember what your relationship was to Romeo and Juliet?
I do think that I was. What's his name? The one that died. That gets killed. The brother.
Mercutio?
Yeah, Mercutio. I think it was him because he was supposed to be the serious, angry guy.
Yes.
But if you actually think about it,
but you made him funny. Yeah.
I just thought certain things were funny, and
their vision was probably just very different, and that's the thing too. Is like as a director, you have to manage the vision of the actors, but the actors have to understand it's also the vision of the director, and it's this whole thing. I actually in high school, I did Romeo and Juliet too, like the actual Shakespeare version, and I played Paris, who was Juliet's the guy that she was supposed to like be betrothed to, that she was supposed to marry, that she obviously didn't because she killed herself for Romeo.
Yeah, suicidal. Crazy women.
But I think the fun thing was about that experience with you and being funny is like the one thing that I learned a long time ago with comedy is like you have to let the funny person be the funny person, and it annoys me when you have like a scene and you could both be funny, but a lot of times like you have to find a way to amplify the one person's funniness, and that's by being what's known as the straight man, taking what the funny person is doing really, really seriously. Because if you're just trying to pitch jokes back and forth, it's like you're outdoing each other. And so I think that's what worked is for me was I was just like, so what the hell is this guy on? Like, this is not funny. This is actually embarrassing, and I feel uncomfortable. And I think that helped amp it up. So as usual, we worked well together, Will.
Yeah, we did. We did really well, and a lot of people liked it. And there's always more in our repertoire.
Yeah.
Actually.
So I wanted to ask you just like your body, because I know you were saying you were feeling a little sore.
Yeah.
As I'm touching my chest.
Yeah, but my chest is not sore. Actually, my back is. Well, I mean, as everyone knows, we talked about this in the podcast. I don't need to get through it all the way. I was in a bad accident, so I always have to be careful. I typically go to a chiropractor. I've been feeling great after the workout, so I kind of stopped. I've been feeling great probably because I was constantly getting adjusted, and then I stopped. My bad. And I just went at it I was going at it intensely for myself. Nobody pushes me more than myself. And so I hurt my back. I was at work, and I was getting out of this rental car that they gave me, this small piece of shit. And I was getting out, and then all of a sudden, I just tweaked my back. And that was on Monday. I did a Monday morning workout. Probably what made my back sensitive was doing the burpees, and it was a pretty intense burpee thing. It was I go, you go, burpees.
Oh yeah, because it was like the rowing, the running, and the burpees.
Well, it was actually the row, the burpees, then the run. But it was really just more of like the burpees, I didn't feel anything. And then I went for, when we were running, I stopped. And it always gets me. And I think I remember last time when I stop sometimes, if my back is sensitive, it happens. And that's only because I go at it intense. So, because the girl that was working out in the morning with me, she was fine afterwards. By the way, kick ass by her. Do you, I don't remember her name. Older girl. I believe older than me. Dude, she kept up. Listen, when we do the I go, you go.
Yeah.
You know, when I take that very serious. I'm like, you gotta.
You're like, when I go, you go. But when you go, I go.
And when I go, I go. And I'm like, at it.
Yeah.
And my goal is to make that person as tired as possible. And she was like, at the end, she did say, I'm dead. But she didn't show it during the workout. So I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
She's like, I am.
No, I like those because, like, it forces you to, like, you don't want to be the person that's slowing down your partner. And you, like, they're performing for you, so you're performing for them. Like, there's a little bit of that. So it's really, I think they're so much fun. But I did want to say to you, I learned a very similar lesson this week as well, because I have been working out harder this month. Now that, you know, there's no drinking to whatever, and I'm not having coffee, and I'm just dialed in my macros, getting back down to it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I've ever shared this on the podcast, but I tore my pec in 2017, so a complete tear. And I did that because I benched twice in one day like an asshole and learned that I wasn't Superman, so that was a nice lesson. But same thing, like I haven't been going to the chiropractor, and we love Dr. Adam Fackler. He's who we use at RoxFire. He's a great chiropractor. And everything here, like shoulder, chest, inside here was just lit up and tight. And I went to him and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, you're working out really hard, and like I want you to work out hard, but you need to come get your body work done. So he did some stims, some cupping, you know, adjusted me, all of that sort of stuff. And that's the thing that I think people don't realize too. If you are putting your body through the kind of stuff we put it through, that's great, but you have to do that maintenance on it. You have to. Or else, and especially because whether or not you have an injury that you have or recovered from, or even just you're somebody who's like working out, you know, 4 to 5 days a week, that you need to be seeing somebody. You need to take it seriously so that you have that longevity.
And make sure that person's taking care of you too. Like you got to make sure, because I used to go to a chiropractor and at the end of the day, I was still sore. I like the fact that where I was going, I would not, like the fact that I went that long without having to see him meant that he was doing a good job. Obviously, my body is close to 40, so my body is different. And so me. So I mean, I am in that 30.
You're in your mid to late 30s. Okay.
I'm in the prime of my life. I love when people say that. The people who say 40, what did they say? 40s at the next 30s. That's people who literally are turning 40 and they just don't want to cry.
No, I don't know if that's true. But I do want to say, Dr. Adam Fackler, it's called Ocean Health Center. It's on Southeast 17th Street. If you're a RoxFire member, we can refer you. He will hook you up. And I just recommend anybody out there, RoxFire member or not, see a chiro. I know some people have like, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day and they were like, I had a bad experience at a chiro and now I don't like them. And I get that. I guess he like got adjusted and then his leg like hurt for like weeks or something like that. And it's like, is that really the chiro's fault? Maybe, or like maybe your body just had a reaction to the adjustment. I don't know. But they're like, people always dump on them, right? Because they're doctors, but they're not like.
What do they call them? Like holistic.
Because he's like Dr. Adam Fackler, but he's not like an MD that you can go and like, hi, I like need surgery. They
don't provide medication. They don't. Yeah. They adjust you. They believe in natural healing, stretching, and that's the truth. I think that's my biggest issue. So that's something I want to say. Yeah. I also don't stretch as much as I should, and you know, and that's the issue. If I stretch more, I told Alexa to remind me to stretch every morning. So she's my side bitch. So she's going to tell me, She tells me to put the sprinklers on in the morning so I can water my trees outside. She reminds me of a lot of things. And she says it so nicely. She's not like my wife that's like, did you do this? You know, she doesn't sound like that. She hates when I do her voice.
Hate this podcast. Because and I know Aga, and she does not sound like, did you do that?
But that's what it sounds like to me.
Sounds like an old Italian grandmother. That sounds like my grandmother when she was alive, God rest her soul, and she was angry. You know, did you do that?
That's what I hear. That's what I hear in my voice. Did you? I'm like, no. Today was, she's been a saint, though, today. I got to make up. I got to get back the points. She's been, knowing my back's been sore, so she's been handling everything. Also because she just doesn't want me to hurt it again, so I keep going. But yeah, that's the thing. So anyway, so stretching is important, and but I think I also did it because I did a 3-hour drive up to Daytona Beach. And I have to tell you, man, have you ever been to Daytona Beach?
No, I have not. Tell me all about it.
Let me tell you all about it. It's going to be really easy. Yeah. Don't go.
Why?
The people there are the biggest assholes you'll ever meet in your life. Let me tell you a quick story. COVID is obviously, they don't believe in the masks up there. Nobody wears masks except for the people that work. So when you walk in with your mask, because it's just, what you just got to do for right now, everyone gives you a look. But we were down in the hotel and everything's changed. I got the things on the floor. And we're having our continental breakfast. I'm doing air quotes. And so I'm in, I think, in line. And so Aga's like literally right beside me. We're like standing behind these people. And this lady walks like right in front of us, which at that time, I don't care. Like if I'm not in line, I don't get it. Then she looks back and goes, you in line? You in line? I think so. I think we're in line. And then this other guy was like, oh, no, I'm making pancakes. The line starts over here. Okay, she's angry. No joke, man. This is not even. So then I step up to the line. Now, again, this is my first time being at this hotel. First time ever. And so apparently you can't walk up and grab your stuff anymore. The person who works there needs to grab it for you. So we get ready to walk up, and the lady comes out. No, I grab it. So I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. She's like, what do you want? What do you have? Lady behind me. Aga literally, like, I could sense Aga. I'm about to pop off now.
Was she getting uncomfortable?
Yeah, because she knew and I was like, my eyes were like, and I just like, Aga was like right there, so she just like, answer the lady. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, we got muffins, we got cereal, we got biscuits and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, biscuits and eggs, like a sausage. And she ends up giving me the biscuit and egg. It's like the Jimmy Dean shit. And then finally we get our food. I look at this lady.
Where were you, like, Motel 6?
No, we were at a Holiday Inn.
Well.
But you know what? Honestly, all of the holidays.
You wanted the full Daytona experience, so you chose to go.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. The lady in the back. You in line? I'm like, holy shit!
You in line?
Yelling at her son.
Yeah.
You're going to eat it. And I was like, oh, you are a very unhappy lady. Holy shit!
You should have turned to her and been like, "Ma'am, Jesus loves you."
She had shot me. I had a feeling she was probably packing. This lady looked like she was packing. I didn't want to mess around because I was like, I've seen this movie. It wouldn't have went well. She'd have punched me, probably kicked me in the balls. Like, I don't know. But all I know is like, lady, you just woke up and you're this angry. So, but anyways, like, it's just,
maybe she has a tough life, Will. Like maybe things aren't okay.
Staying at a Holiday Inn, like this view was beautiful. Like every room had a beautiful view of the sun rising. Right? Yeah, rising. It was just a beautiful day. The waves crashing. How can you be that angry? I don't.
Yeah. When I looked at your video that you posted, someone was like, "It looks empty," or like someone commented on that.
It wasn't.
And it made me think, like, there are some people on Facebook, and like honestly, Facebook is one of those things that, like, I feel like younger people are like steering clear of, and it's definitely something that older people are congregating towards. And like we're in that sort of in between where like we still use it because when we were in college is when it first came out, or like maybe right after college for you. But there's some people that just like post and comment, and they just go tick, 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 and it's just like these annoying little comments that are just not necessary, necessary at all. Yeah. Oh, you're not wearing your mask? Or like just like annoying, just, you know what I mean? Like just like, oh, it looks empty. Who cares? Like why?
Plus, it wasn't. If you actually were to see where they only could have 50%. There's this thing going COVID going on. The fact that they even had it was awesome. I was in a box suite. So yeah, it looked empty. It looked empty because nobody can be where I was. So that's one thing. And everyone was on what they called the infield. That was like where you could see the cars go flying by, and it was like that was awesome. We went down there. We got a little tour of it. A friend of mine, Nathan Crum, he's great guy, and he took me down there. And
Crum, he sounds British.
I don't know if he is. Don't think he is, but he might be. But if you say it with a British accent, it's definitely British. But the thing is like it was packed down there, and everyone's got their RVs and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. Not my scene. I'm not a very big like NASCAR guy, and never have been. But the experience was great. The cars were pretty cool. They were they were flying. And when it got dark, it was even better because it had the headlights on, the lights around. So I didn't really go to see people. I went there to see the fucking cars. So that person was like, it looks empty. Good. There's nobody in my way to see what I need to see. So that's another good thing.
Have you seen Ford versus Ferrari?
Yes. So that's so exactly,
good, right?
That's what that event was. It was a 24-hour Rolex. It's a Rolex 24. It's a 24-hour race.
Ferrari so like, what I want to understand about that is it like, is there a certain point where you like realize you're just not going to win, and can you give up? Because like, what if you get to hour 12 and you're like, all right, the guys in front are so far in front of me, and we have to now drive for another 12 hours. Like, do people just kind of pop off, like fall off, or do they all do it?
I asked that question because I'm not a quitter, but if I was that far behind, I'd start walking.
Right. So, you've been working for 12 hours. Yeah.
No, because it's 24 hours. All it takes is one accident, and it could bump down 3 or 4 cars, and you're moving up.
That's true. That is true.
And then they hit if something happens. Like I'm telling you, that's the thing. That's why they've actually seen people come back from really far deficit only because they kept going, they kept pushing. Like there was one guy who was like, I think he was like 30 laps behind. But I was like, oh, he's done. And they're like, no, all they have to do is pit, switch. By that time, that's 3-4 laps. If they get in an accident, they have to pit again, and this person does it strategically, he could catch up. Did he? No. But
it could happen.
Could happen. Anything chance. So that's why you just keep racing. Plus, I mean, if you switch, so there's 4 racers that you, or 3, that you switch with every off. So every time you get in the car, you're just like guns blazing. You're like, yeah, my turn.
You're going to crash. Yeah. So why did you go to Daytona?
Because Nathan invited me.
Nathan Crum.
Nathan Crum invited me to go up just to get that experience. So I was like, yeah. And so I have one friend, I went with Aga, but I have one friend that's a big like racing fan, and I asked him and he couldn't go. So I brought Aga. She had a great time. Then we stayed over, thank God. And good times to be had by all.
Good times to be had by all. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I can't say that my weekend was nearly as exciting, but we did do some fun things. On Sunday, we had our bar bros and barbells workout. So basically, every once in a while, we'll do like a guys-only workout and then a girls-only workout. And why I like those is because like it brings a different energy to it. I think the girls really like all getting together, and then the guys really like getting together, and then we go to brunch together as a big group after. And we went to Taco Craft. And the first time that we went to Taco Craft was a couple weeks ago, and we really, really enjoyed it. And honestly, like this time,
not so much.
No, I don't know. So like a couple things. Like I could tell that the manager, like, so we had a big group, and you know how like big groups still at this point people are weird about, but we were outside. We were in the outside seating area. And so, like, obviously no one's wearing masks because we're sitting at a table and we're outside, but we had more people than anticipated, but they wouldn't add any additional tables to our table. So it was like, okay, not a big deal. It took us about 35 minutes to get our food order, 35, 40 minutes to get our food order after we placed it. And I remember the first time we went, it was super fast and super quick. So I don't want to knock them and say like, oh, it was shitty, but the first time was really, the first time was really good. And they were also really busy, and I'm happy for them that they're busy. But I will say they had this amazing French toast that I had a nice little cheat.
Wouldn't have thought that.
So it's like, so it's their brunch menu. So they have like, you know, Mexican themed brunch. So it was like a churro, like a cinnamony, like French toast. I think it had cinnamon toast crunch on it. It was not healthy at all. But that's the thing, boys and girls, is okay to cheat every once in a while. It's okay.
On your macros.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like,
to cheat on your macros.
Somebody, a good friend whose name I will not say, looked at me and was like, all that discipline down the drain, huh? When I was like eating my French toast. And I was like, F you, buddy. I'm going to eat this French toast and I'm going to enjoy it. I was like, ugh, so pissed.
Is he from Ohio?
Yes.
How did I guess that, right?
Yeah, because
sounds like a shitbag thing he would say.
A sour attitude.
Yeah, because he's got all this muscle now. He's one of the classic ones. He works really hard.
He has worked really hard, and I will give him that, and he's very, very strict about his macros. But he's very much like a tunnel vision person, which is fine. When you're getting into stuff like this, it can feel like all or nothing. But I am 34, and I know what works for me is I have to stretch it out, because if I go like 30 days and I just eat clean and like that's it, like then I'm gonna be like and like pig out, right? You have to find the balance, and I think that's what we try to do at RoxFire for people, is help them find balance, because it can't be one way all the time. You have to find the healthy balance. Train bold, live wild.
Well, and that's the live wild part. But here's the thing, that's what I love about the live wild part, because for me, man, I'm gonna tell you, it's like if I eat and I say I accomplished that goal of getting like the ripped at. Again, I'm 37 going on 38. I do something, obviously not with modeling or anything like that. It's not my career. Nobody sees. I wear a suit every single day. So for me, it's like, what do I accomplish in that other than that self?
Yeah, but like I see you. No, but I don't think that's true, Will, because
but what I'm saying is I'm not going to make my life like so bad where I'm not going to enjoy something because that's not gonna get those abs, and I'll just be like, well, you know, I look good, I feel good, I'm gonna keep working hard, but if I want that cheesecake, damn, I'm gonna have that cheesecake. So,
yeah, and I think too, like, you know, it also depends on your personality type. If you're someone who is not the most social person in the world, and you're somebody who doesn't have a significant other, and you are just focusing on you and your life, and you're doing you. And you know what I mean? Like, then yeah, it's a lot easier to like dive in. But like, you know, if you're working a full-time job, you've got a partner, you've got a life, like you have to figure out how to balance these things, right? So for example, like the networking event, I was like, listen, I'm not drinking tonight. I'm going to this networking event, even though it's easier to talk to people when you've had a few drinks, even for an extrovert like me, it makes it easier, right? And I was like, I'm not drinking, but on Sunday, I'm going to enjoy brunch. And I think that it's just, you just got to find that balance.
You balance it out. Yeah. Yeah. And, and I agree wholeheartedly on that. And I think that's the big part is that making sure that you put fuel, though, in your body and not deprive yourself also. So I think my change has been me. I've been intaking more protein than I probably normally wouldn't have in the past. So that I've seen a huge difference, and I love it. One thing I got to say, I started telling somebody, I don't know who it was, his name's Christian. He said, well, be careful with that because you can get fat eating a lot of protein.
Okay, first of all, that's not true. Who is this person? Do I know this person?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is I don't even know where they might have even heard that, but that is 100% bullshit Bullshit.
I know it's bullshit because I've been eating a lot of protein. I mean, I'm not going too crazy, but I think it's like 200 grams of protein, but I'm working out hard. And so,
but you know what? Let's hold on. I just want to pause you here because let's talk about haters. Because there are people out there who are not working out, who are not putting food into their body, and then when good food, and then when they see other people doing that, you're probably working out too much, or you're gonna get fat if you do that, or it's like this like moral superiority, and it's like, at least I'm trying to do something, you know? And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, you can get fat from eating protein. Like, you don't even know how that works. Like, that's just like, that's a really ignorant thing to say. I'm sorry.
And you Google it, yeah, it'll say that. But at the same time, I'm like, your body needs protein, and I wasn't as sore. Here's the other thing that drives me nuts. And
you know how you could get fat from eating protein is if you just eat protein and you don't give your body any carbs or fat. I imagine your body will hang on to excess fat because it's not getting any other supply of that, and you need fat in your body. So yeah, sure. But like, if you're eating a pound to a pound per half. So if you weigh 175 pounds, right, you should be eating 175 to 200, grams of protein a day. Like, that's what a typical person who's working out can tolerate. People are just so, if you're confused about that, don't talk to me or talk to Will. Don't talk to Johnny No Name who's sitting on the couch over there.
Yeah, he's jealous. I know. I see you're passionate. It's the same way I feel about when I'm like my back. I hurt my back, and then people will be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this work again."
You shouldn't work out.
You've been working out too hard. I'm like, is it that? Or maybe you should slow down. No, this is when you figure out, okay, why is my back sore? What am I doing wrong? I'm not stretching. That's my fault. That's nothing to do.
That's on you. That's not your injury. Listen, this is another fuck you. So I had one client.
I paused myself. Go.
Who I think it was 5 years ago. He's not a current client of mine, but 5 or 6 years ago, he got into a car accident or a motorcycle accident on his motorcycle, and the doctor was like, "You are not walking again." And he said, like hell, I'm not walking again. And there he was 5 years later doing CrossFit. So, like, I don't care, like, if you're a doctor, if you're whatever, all of that limitation shit, that's just up here. That's just beliefs that you have that you're trying to put on other people. Sure, dude, you're probably going to get fat for eating protein because you probably think that's true, that you're going to get fat and you're going to create that for yourself. But it's just like the negative, like, put down mindset that people have. It's like, go fuck yourself.
I know. Like, seriously. I hate it. It's the people that lift like get a little sweat and then they're done and they go shove protein in their mouth. That's the people that are going to gain weight because they're eating more protein than their body is like burning or using. Because I'll tell you, after an intense workout that we do for our build classes for RoxFire, I'll eat when I get home, and I know Ohio is the type of person that will be like, oh, we're going to have to crush some protein when we get home. I do. I'll have a bunch of different protein, and I feel amazing the next day. I'm not even sore. And people say,
that's the thing. And what I love about Ohio, too, is even though he had his little discipline moment with me, like, he loves to read, and he's taken a lot of facts, and he's had the time to experiment and try different things and find what works for him, And what I like that you're doing is, okay, like, you've tried this, you've tried that, you're trying something else to see if it works for you, because honestly, everybody has a different body type, and everybody responds differently to different things. This might just work for you, and you're giving yourself the opportunity to try that. And like the thing is, Will, like, I don't even want to, like, this conversation about protein turning you fat. It's just pissing me off. So we're not even talking about it anymore on my end. How's the weather?
The weather's freezing.
It is freezing, isn't it? It's so effing cold here, and I think maybe now, like, I'm just a spoiled Floridian because it was 65.
No. When it gets to the 40s, I even remember I grew up in Maine, and I would be like, it's cold. It wasn't freezing. I mean, we use that word freezing because it's just fun, but it's cold out, and it's like you got to wear a jacket or a hoodie or whatever. I refuse to turn the heat on in our house. It's just something I won't do, and it gets pretty cold when I wake up in the morning. But yeah, Florida weather. But guess what? The beautiful thing, in about 2 days, it's going to be back in the 70s, 80s, and we'll be good.
And we won't complain anymore. Okay, I do have one more thing to say. This has just really turned, like, lit me up, right? Like, I've had clients that have been like, I need to go somewhere else because, and now this isn't necessarily at RoxFire, but other places I work with, this is just what happens. I need to go somewhere else because I'm not getting the results that I want. Okay, what results do you want? Well, I'm trying to lose fat and build muscle. Okay, what are you eating? All right. And this is what happens, right? People will jump to a different workout or try a different program when the thing that's actually missing is the diet and nutrition. I have a client I'm working with who is, okay. So they sent me their food log, and in their food log, it was like they had a salad that day. And I'm just like, and I feel bad because I feel like, I honestly, like, I feel like women especially, like, are taught, society teaches them, okay, you need to be skinny, right? And then it's passed down, like, don't eat, or, like, eat a little bit. But unfortunately, what your body acts like is it thinks it's starving because you are starving it, so it hangs on to everything. So, totally. So it's just like there's so many beliefs that are installed in people about eating and physical fitness that, like, it's my job to, like, deprogram them because it's like you're shooting yourself in the foot, and I feel bad because I want to help.
Yeah, but the thing is the problem is with people is they want results like yesterday.
Yeah.
And
so listen, this body that I have right here, right, where I can wear this shirt, this took 10 years to build. This isn't like, oh, I was just whatever, and in 3 months I had a body, right? It takes time. Nothing beats hard work. There are no shortcuts. There are things that can enhance, don't get me wrong, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work.
Yeah. You can't skip out. You have to so one thing I've noticed, and I'm going to say this, is you also have to lift heavier too. My biggest fear was always, if I start to lift heavy, then I'm going to start to bulk, and I never wanted to bulk. But what I found out,
eat for that.
That's true. And so what I'm realizing is the muscles will show more if you lift heavier because the muscles are going to pop more. And I've noticed that because I went from working out at RoxFire OG using 20-pound to 25-pound weights and being like, I'm good. That's heavy for me. I'm up to 50 pounds now. There's some workouts I was doing 50. So and I really haven't changed too much I haven't changed that much dramatically in the sense of, like, I haven't gotten big. It's just I've been my muscles have shown more. My back muscles are stronger. My shoulders are better. So it's like they pop when you start to lift more.
So yeah, and the thing about that too, Will, is progressive overloading is when you continually add little by little weights and your body responds to essentially what your body does is it responds to the demands that you put on it, right? But that is for strength, right? Hypertrophy, which is building bigger muscles, is a whole different ball game than strength. They are correlated. There is a relation there, but if you want to actually have bigger muscles, some would say that you don't actually need to lift super heavy weights. It's about, like we do at build classes, doing slow muscle contractions at light to medium weights to really stress out the muscle, because the way the muscle gets bigger is you tear it and it grows back. But if you were to get bulky, right, you would have to be eating an excess amount of calories so that your body would know that, your body doesn't, right now, if you're eating maintenance or a little bit more than you need, your body doesn't have any clues or any signs like, I need to get bigger. You're not feeding it for that. So it's like, again, making a choice. If you were like, I want to put on some mass, then I would say, okay, then we need to up your protein, we need to up your carbs, we need to up your fat, and we need to push you in this XYZ way. But just because you lifting heavier means you're getting stronger, your muscles are getting fuller, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all of a sudden now you're going to turn into like the Hulk. It's just because you're not eating for that.
But what I'm saying is that I used to just do the 20-pound weight, and my body was in a workout, and I think 100%. That's the thing. It's not the fact that, like, you do this, you have this thing at the gym where it's like till failure, like you can't go anymore. If you can keep going, you need to up your weight the next time that comes around, because
100%.
the thing is that was my problem. I was like, oh, I'm doing 30. Well, you should only be doing 12. So
like 12 to 15 reps when you're
make it harder for yourself. And I've noticed that, and I feel better. Like when we do an AMRAP or something like that, if I'm not coming in first, but it's because I have a heavier weight and I'm throwing it up there, but I feel good after. That's all that matters for me now. And it's like I can feel stronger, and I know where that is. But yeah, you just got to lift. You got to push yourself. You can't just stay where you are.
100%. And you also have to work within your body type too, right? Like you have a naturally leaner body type. So for you, I believe you would be called a endomorph. I always get these confused, ectomorph and endomorph. You would need to eat a lot more in order to put size on, right? So talking about Ohio specifically, he looks great, but he's super lean, right? He has a lot of lean muscle mass because he doesn't have a lot of body fat. If he wanted to have more of my build or put on more muscle in that way, he would need to very much increase the amount of food that he's eating. So there's ways to play with that, but I think what annoys me is like people's misconception, like, and it happens with women too. They come in and they're like, I don't want to get bulky, and it's like, well, darling, like you will not get bulky if you don't eat to get bulky. Right. So it's like, and bodybuilders, like it's a sport, man. It is a science to these people. They are sculptors of their bodies. They know what to do to kind of get the results that they want for a specific muscle, this, that, or the other. But like those things take a lot of time, work, and dedication. It doesn't just happen. You know?
Yeah, some people make it a career. You really have to.
100%. Yeah.
My friend Megan did a kick-ass job, and I watched her go through that bodybuilding torture. I like to call it torture because what I watched. Did
she do bikini or did she do physique? Like was she? So
she
that's what Jess did, right?
Yeah. But yeah. So and then she was like, I mean, but what she did was she did bikini, but she was like ripped. And the muscles were right there, but it was a really good look for her, but she was like,
but it's challenging as fuck, right? When you ask her like what she's eating,
I thought she was going to kill me some days. Like I would ask her a simple question in the military. I'd be like, "Hey, do you, Sergeant Longanette, what do you want?" I'm like, "Ma." We had this meme where she would just tell everyone to fuck off like that.
You'd be like, "Eat some carbs, lady."
Like, she couldn't. She was like, it was her cheat day or her what she likes to call refeed day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hilarious because she was excited. She was coming out with us. She was going to have like cookies and cake. It was going to have all this stuff. And she got a text, "Oh, I'm sorry, I messed up on the day. That's next week." I swear I thought she was going to really murder everyone.
She had to go back to eating, chicken and veggies.
Yeah, she was just like, "Oh yeah, no, just chicken. No, don't put anything on it. Just basically give me the chicken." I'm just looking at like, I'll have the. Like we're all eating.
So I think the moral of the story here is that results can happen for you, but you have to be very deliberate about what you want. And if what you want, you think is going to take you 3 months or even 6 months, and it's going to happen for you, and all you have to do is work out.
It's definitely the food.
That is a fool's errand, my friend.
What goes in your mouth?
And we can talk about this another time too. It's your recovery, it's your sleep, it's your body work that you're doing to yourself. Because if you're not like, if I'm tight like this all the time, I can't lift. Like, so there's so much to talk about, Will. I can't believe we've been talking for almost an hour.
We're over an hour.
No, it says 53 minutes since we've been recording. So.
Oh, I have an hour.
Yeah, you're looking at the gallery view. But yeah, so what do you think? Should we end it there? Should we leave it there tonight?
I think that's great conversation. I think also definitely follow, just get on if you're interested in working out and you're in the Fort Lauderdale area or Broward County. I don't know why we say Fort Lauderdale. I live in Pompano Beach and I still make the ride just because it's worth it. Because the workouts are there, you make friends, and that's important.
These conversations that me and Will are having, like, we met, I mean, obviously we met because of networking, but like, these are the kind of relationships that we really, really value at RoxFire, because we know that it's a big, scary world out there, and like having good friends on your side and in your life, like it's so important and so valuable. So the gym that you're at, like if you don't have an opportunity to make some really solid relationships, come on to RoxFire and you're going to meet some really cool people.
Yeah, try it out. You give a free week, right? And so just to give it a go. Meet some people. I think what's going to happen is weights are weights, workouts are workouts, but the community that you get involved with is unlike anything else. And so you're going to be encouraged to want to come back just because you're going to be like, I want to see those people again. And then you're
going to want to do a podcast and like make up names for them and mention how they shit out abs and how they're cranky sometimes, but how you love them either way.
Well, we didn't make up names for that person. The shitting out abs, we slipped.
That's not even my joke. I stole it from a comedy special where this woman was railing on younger women for how they just can like wake up and shit out abs.
Just
it's like talking about getting older. She was turning 40 soon.
Way to end it. There's a way to end it right there. End it with RoxFire.
Well, Will, where can people find you on the World Wide Web if they want to know more about SoFlo Style Guy?
Instagram is the best way, and all you have to do is go to SoFlo_Style Guy, and look, I have a podcast also out there talking about what to wear, how to look good. My most recent one is how to find your style, and a lot of people have liked it, and I'm very blunt.
Really funny. Yes,
very blunt.
Very blunt.
So yeah. If you don't want to care about your style, don't listen. That's what I tell you.
Don't even pay attention. And if you want to find me, obviously we're at RoxFire Fitness, but if you want to find me personally, I'm at The Modern Thor. Haven't been updating it all that much because I always focus on RoxFire, but you'll probably see some thirst trap shirtless photos of me after a lifting session and my muscles look good and I'm like, just hang in there, baby, so.
The motivation. The gifts that keeps on giving.
That's right. Awesome. Well, we will see you guys next time. Train bold, live wild.